Hey everyone, it's Monday, it's 4 p.m. It's Monday the 4th December 2017. I'm in my mode of starting the workday late. Started 1 hour ago. So far I've been looking at our backlog, replied to one email regarding our offer. We offer recruitment advertisements on our blog, and our offer is mainly strong because we show this offer on the sidebar, and it's always visible for everyone in the blog post. And we have a huge time of people who are spending time on our the visit is usually like 10-12 minutes, so it's a big time. So I was trying to explain the offer better to someone who was interested in that. And now I'm switching to a client project. I will be working on fixing a bug which was related to JavaScript, and the off by 1 day error which happens with JavaScript dates when they don't care about time zones, and that's the default. So fixing this, and then we'll see. This is how it works with our blog. We have thousands of page views every month. This is one of the recent blog posts, even sourcing a transferable skill. This is a new sidebar that we have created. So here you see an offer from a company from Wrocław. It's targeting Ruby programmers, and our blog is mostly targeting Ruby programmers. And whenever we scroll, the sidebar stays on the right. So I think our offer can help the recruitment campaigns to increase the visibility. Yeah, and that's how it works here. During my work sessions, I always like to have Twitter open somewhere close to me, so that whenever I think of something that sounds funny or interesting to other programmers, I'm quick to tweet it. And a new book arrived. I will be a Haskell programmer someday. So there's this funny problem with JavaScript, that it's safe to assume that JavaScript has no standard library, because relying on the existing standard library is a subject of jokes, which is nice to have fun sometimes, but in the real world you actually need to do and use something. So for example, in our case, right now we inherited some code base which used JavaScript dates objects, and they're actually date times, but they're called dates. And it's easy to get into problems there if you don't know the quirks of that. And I came up with this thinking that JavaScript has no standard library, not to have fun, but mostly to be realistic about it, that it's now your responsibility to choose the standard library. And choosing standard libraries, for example, is choosing the library for dealing with dates, and make sure that those dates are always your new type of dates and not the JavaScript ones. So I remember a project actually several projects where we have used Moment.js for dealing with JavaScript dates, and that was like one part of our standard library for JavaScript. Obviously, it sounds really bad if you think about combining the standard library every project. But if your projects are long-living, then usually it's just once, and then you have it working. Just 1 hour ago, I was talking to a friend who used to be a programmer working for, on I think in .NET, and that was his main job. And then he started his business based on a SaaS application, so software as a service. And now he's not only a programmer, he's now a co-founder, and he is now dealing with other business activities. And what was interesting, the part which was interesting when I was talking to him, and he's really getting good successes right now, getting more subscribers paying him, so really good traction right now. And when I was talking to him right now, it was interesting to hear how his perspective changed. And when he was a programmer, he was trying to catch up with all the newest technology changes, newest frameworks, libraries, and platforms, runtimes, whatever. And now he's more like a business person. He understands that the technology changes, they don't matter that much. He just uses some reliable technology. It's not the newest one, but he's happy with that because it's more oriented on the product and on the value to the users, and less to the programming ego that sometimes is blinding us. And really nice perspective shift. And it's really when you are always a programmer, you're trying to be the best programmer possible. You kind of get into this belief that you need to always be with the fresh and newest changes. You need to be up to date, and it's totally impossible. That's the first thing. And second, it's not really needed, because you're usually working on one project, 2 projects, 3 projects, maybe 4 projects during a year, even if more. And I think it's still better to rely on some specific technology choice. But one area where it could increase your knowledge is probably the techniques overall, the patterns, but less about their actual technology, especially those details that change every week or every month. So in those days where you can't see my new vlogs, because recently there were not many, you can go to my Snapchat. I try to share a lot of my work, a lot of my thoughts about programming, about business on the Snapchat. If you never use Snapchat, I think it's worth trying. It's not only for funny stuff, it can be educational. It's up to you how you use it. And from the author perspective, it's super easy to do stuff on Snapchat. It's much less work than recording a YouTube video, so this might be a good start for you. Thanks for watching my vlog, and see you next time.